Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm super excited for today's video. It is going to be my quarterly update for how I'm doing in the 23 products that I want to pan in 2023. So last December, I posted a video, a plan to pan video where I shared with you 23 products that I wanted to pan to completion this year, not just products that I wanted to have some sort of like usage goal on. These 23 products I really set out to want to finish in 2023. So I thought it would be good to do quarterly check-ins, kind of see where we are at. And I will say, looking at these products, I'm like, there's good progress-ish on some, but it also makes me very nervous with how much I've actually accomplished and the fact that like we're already 3 months into the year. So we will get into all of that. First, if you have yet to subscribe to my channel and you like project panning content or just chit-chatting about makeup, I'd love if you'd consider subscribing before moving on. And other than that, let's jump into the video. All right, if you missed my panned plan, I will and can leave that linked below. Otherwise, I obviously will go through every single product that I mentioned in that video today. There are only 2 products that I have finished up completely to completion. So 2 out of 23, we're off to a great start, which, I mean, looking at some of these products though, these are like longer haul products and I have made some good progress on them, but I'll just share with you the 2 products that I finished off first. So up first, I had included my Urban Decay All Nighter Ultra Glow Face Primer, and I finished this off in my Rolling Project 10 pan this year. Super excited to have this as an empty. And then even more excited than that, or even more exciting, is the fact that I have a blush empty for the year. So this is my Charlotte Tilbury Glowgasm Beauty Light Wand, and I've been trying to pan this for what feels like forever. And I recently pulled this out because I kind of forgot that I've had this bag sitting underneath my bathroom sink, and it has all these products in it. And I was kind of sifting through and I was like, oh, I forgot I included this. I used it a few days and I literally can't get any more product out. I took off the little poof ball at the top, and I've literally squeezed every last drop I can get of this product out. The Charlotte Tilbury ones seem like you don't get that much product, but then it's the never-ending product. So I'm so excited to have a blush empty because y'all know my blush collection is out of control. Blush is so hard to pan for me specifically, so this just feels like a major accomplishment and a major win in my opinion. So these are my only 2 empties thus far. Now let's get into all the other products. So I also included my RMS Beauty Revolve Radiance Locking Primer. I'm currently working on this in a project. I think I'll have no problem finishing this product off, and I included this in products I wanted to finish because I do really enjoy this primer, but it's not a product that I myself would purchase when I finish this. They did send this to me, and while I think it is a beautiful primer with a really beautiful kind of sheen to it, it doesn't do anything earth-shattering that makes me feel like it warrants the price tag. So I want to finish this off. I enjoy using it but wouldn't repurchase, therefore it would be a good empty to have in my collection. Then I also have my number 7 powder, which I was working on in a project. I have hit pan on this powder, which is very exciting, and I still kind of leave it at arm's length. So today I used it to set underneath my eyes, even though it's not pulled into my Shop My Stash, nor is it in a project right now. Obviously, this is a powder that I do want to finish this year, and I do still think I have a ways to go with this, but I'm kind of taking a little bit of a break, if you will, but still reaching for it from time to time. This one makes me just a little bit nervous because it ended up taking much longer than I personally anticipated to hit pan in this, and I still feel like I have so much powder around the perimeter. And while I do reach for powder every single day, I'm currently trying to pan the Dior Backstage Powder No Powder, which I enjoy more than this. And I also feel like in my head, I think I go through powder very quickly, but then it takes me a full year to finish a powder. So we'll see about this. I'm excited that I have a pan in this, but I am nervous about actually finishing this, completing this before the end of the year. Okay, I had 2 foundations that I included, and I included both of these because each foundation has an expiration date, and I believe it's because both of them have SPF. But so many people talk about the Kosas products going bad so quickly. I actually recently decided I have to declutter my Kosas Tropic Equinox because it smells like the tar on a playground. Like it smells like that, like almost like a foam pad sort of tar. And so then I was like, well, I'm still gonna use it on my face a few days in a row and see what happens. And I do feel like I was getting a bit of a breakout, so I was like, it's just not worth it. But I want to finish this up one before it expires or goes bad. So this is the Kosas Revealer Skin Improving Foundation. This expires July of 2023. So my goal is to finish it before July. I have been using this, but my problem with this foundation is it does not have the best wear time on it. So I feel like it only lasts me like a good 6 hours before I really feel like it starts to break down and kind of wear off my face. So this just doesn't really work for me for a lot of situations. Like this is not a foundation I want to be wearing to work. It also is a little bit deeper for me. I forgot to mention at the beginning of this video, I am currently self-tanning, so my face might be darker than my skin right now, or than my body, but it is what it is. Beginning of the year, January, I really wasn't self-tanning much. This is in my Rolling Project 10 pan. So I didn't reach for it a lot in January. I do try and reach for this when I film pretty frequently, just because I feel like that's when I get the most use out of it. Or on the weekends when I'm not doing a whole lot, but I want to wear makeup, like I'll try and reach for this foundation, but I am struggling to get through that one just because it doesn't have a great wear time to it. And then the second foundation that I rolled in or included in the 23 products I want to pan is my Tower 28 foundation, or Tower 28 Sunny Days Broad Spectrum Tinted Sunscreen. This expires in August of this year. So both of these competing for attention and expire right around the same time. This is what I have on my face today. I actually really enjoy this. I don't necessarily know that I would repurchase this just because I love to test new foundations. So unless something is like truly like top tier holy grail status, I'm thinking of like the Dior Forever, it's unlikely I will repurchase just because I like to test new things. But I really think that this is beautiful. It blends really nicely, and I feel like this has like a good staying power as well. This is something that I like to wear a lot if I'm going for like a walk, or if I'm going in the summer. Like last summer I would wear this if I was like going to the beach for a little bit. So I enjoy this. Don't think I'll repurchase. I feel like I actually enjoy this one a little bit more than I do the Kosas one. Regardless, I am still hoping to finish both of those off. This one is not and has not yet been in a project this year. When I used it today, there's definitely like, there's an air bubble in it, so it's kind of hard to tell where I'm at, but I would say I'm maybe like a third or maybe closer to a half of a way through this. Still got a ways to go. This does not, I don't feel like I need to use a lot of this either each time that I use it. So it's been a little bit challenging. I don't know that I'll finish that by the time it expires. I don't know if I'll finish either of these by the time they expire. I am still hopeful though that I will finish both of these by the end of the year, but we'll see. And then my two concealers. These make me so nervous, but I won't use these unless they're in a project. So this RMS concealer, I'll be curious. Like I don't think I actually took pictures of any of these products. I'll have to go back and look to see if I took pictures of any of these when I like made my 2023 planning, panning, whatever video. I feel like the pan has expanded a little bit on this. I have reached for this some. It's the RMS Beauty Revealer Uncover Up Concealer, and I just like, I don't really like this, but I feel like because I have dedicated so much to this to hit pan that I can't get myself to declutter this. But this is also so old in my collection, and truly if this is not an empty by the end of the year, I just need to be done with it and like just declutter it because it's so old. And then I also have the Becca Under Eye Brightening Concealer. I purchased this when Becca was still a brand. This is getting a little bit older. I have reached for this some as well. I don't have a pan on this. I used to enjoy this a lot more than I do now. I just feel like it's a little bit too emollient and sticky underneath my eyes, but occasionally if I'm just doing like a primer on my face and like running out the door, maybe doing like mascara, I will pop a little bit of this underneath my eyes just to brighten them up. I feel like if I rolled this into a project, I could actually be a lot more diligent and get a lot more use out of this. So perhaps I need to just roll this into whatever project I can next, because I need to finish this up. Neither of these two are currently in a project, and both make me nervous. Moving on to the bronzer category, I have two bronzers that I included as well. Both are going in projects. So up first I have the e.l.f. Forever Sun-Kissed bronzer. This is going in my Rolling Project 10 pan. I have expanded the pan on this quite a bit, but it still makes me nervous because I feel like I have so much bronzer. Like I feel like there's not that much of a dip where there's powder over on this side. I've tried to like focus my brush over on this side, and it just feels like the never-ending side of bronzer. But I have uncovered the second ring up here, so I am still hopeful that I'll be able to finish off that bronzer. Hopefully not at the neglect of every other bronzer in my collection, which is kind of how it's felt this first 3 months of the year, but we'll see how it progresses throughout the year. And then I also have my Kevyn Aucoin Sculpting powder. This is going in, I think, my Becca panning, project pan. I just rolled this in, and I actually did repress this. This had a huge pan on it, but it was starting to like crumble and break. So I needed to repress this. This is what it's looking like repressed now. My goal obviously is to use this up, but I just am not contouring all that much. So I have kind of struggled to get use out of this. And it just looks so interesting. Repressed. I've used this one time since repressing it, so I do think I will and can finish this up. I just don't think I'll like love the process of that because I just don't enjoy contouring. I don't know, I feel like I can never get like a good contour look. The other blush that I had, aside from the one that I already finished, which was the Charlotte Tilbury one, is the Glossier Cloud Paint in the shade Beam. I am about halfway through this. I don't have this actively in a project right now, but this was going in my, I think, rolling project 10 pan for quite some time last year. And I need to get a ton of use out of this summer, or it'll be a lost cause and I won't be able to finish this up. I am still nervous about finishing this up because there's just still quite a bit of product, and you need like the tiniest amount of this to get the effect that I'm looking for. But I think spring, summer, like I'm thinking of like the days, like typically Monday and Friday I have to be at work so early. I'm not doing a ton with my makeup, but I feel like I could do like a very light coverage tinted moisturizer and this on like Mondays and Fridays, and I'll really enjoy that for the spring, summer. So I don't think I've reached for this at all this year, but still hopeful. Maybe we can finish this up. Then I'm gonna have 2 liquid blush empties this year, and that, my friends, would be an accomplishment. I have 3 highlighting products that I included. One of them is this RMS Beauty Face Quad, the Living Luminizer Quad. I want to finish up this entire quad to completion. I have been reaching for this some lately, but I also am working on the Flower Beauty highlighter, like cream highlighter, in one of my other projects, so they're kind of competing for attention. I also finished up my favorite, or almost finished up my favorite shade, like my favorite pan within this face palette. So while I still enjoy these 2 cream highlights, it's just not as exciting for me to reach for, especially this one right here. I just think barely adds anything to the cheeks. I still really enjoy this. And then when we get to the bronzer, that's going to be very interesting. This is another one, if I don't get use out of this summer, like this is going to be a lost cause. But I would love to finish up a full like face palette, even though it's a mini, I would feel so accomplished if I actually finished up this entire quad. So I'm still hopeful that that can happen. I know that this pan has definitely expanded some, and I am getting a bigger dip going in this right here. It's just the bronzer that makes me the most nervous with that. And that has not been actively in a project yet this year. So we'll see how that one continues to progress and move along. This is a product that I reach for, or have reached for in the past, a lot in the summer. So there's still great opportunity for that one. We then have my Bobbi Brown Pink Glow Highlight. This is one of my favorite highlights in my collection. I've had this mini for quite some time now. And so this is a baked product, so it's a waffle pan, and I'm very curious. Like, it looks like I can see the waffle, but like I don't know if I can see the waffle. There's also still quite a bit of highlight up in the corners here. And I actually prefer this highlight more for like the pink part of it rather than like the icier part, although I do like to swirl all of them together. I'm thinking to get some more use out of it, what I might do this summer is like scrape off this top like icier highlight, like up at the top, scrape that off into like a lotion to make like a shimmery lotion, just to get some more use out of this product and ensure that this isn't empty by the end of the year. I am trying to get a little bit more creative about repurposing some of my products to get use out of them, whether or not they're not working for me in their like intended way, or if I just am trying to find multiple ways to use a product so that I can use it up more quickly. And then we also have my Becca Rose Quartz, which I have finally repressed as well. There was a huge pan in the center of this. This is my favorite highlight in my entire collection. I do have Becca Rose Quartz in a face palette still, so when I finish this, I'll still have the highlighter shade in my collection. And I just feel like it would feel so accomplishing to finish this product. I'm very curious how long it will take for me to hit pan again. Like, I feel like it looks like there's so much product in this. Like, I didn't think there was a lot of product left, then I repressed it and I'm like, this looks like a whole new pan of highlight. So this could take some serious effort. Since repressing this, I've probably used this like 4 or 5 times, and I think the quality is still good. Sometimes I get nervous to repress products because I feel like the quality declines so significantly, but I've still been really happy with the use on this one. This is not actively in a project, but this is very easy for me to reach for regardless of whether or not it's in a project. So for eye products, there is one eye product that died, if you will. It was my Essence Metal Shock eyeshadow, and the doe foot broke off of that, so I had to literally trash that. So I obviously won't be able to finish that product off to completion. Just wanted to shout that out. But I also included my Stila Glitter and Glow in the shade Wanderlust. You can tell like there's some product that's worn away on this, and as I look into this, I think I'm about halfway done with this product. This is currently going in my Rolling Project 10 pan, and I have not been good about reaching for this. I should never have purchased this, and I told myself if I did, I needed to really make effort to use this, which is why I included this in a product that I want to finish off. It also dries out really quickly. I even already start to feel like, or I'm starting to feel like it's getting like a little bit crumbly and dry. So I need to finish this year. I purchased this last year. I have not made great progress on that though, so that makes me nervous in terms of actually finishing it. A product I do not think I will finish is this one right here. This is the Essence ColourPop, or the ColourPop Super Shock Shadow in the shade Ritz. Really, really beautiful shade. I have a pan in here, but it's not like super significant. And if you guys have ever tried to like completely, whoops, well that's great. Okay. If you've ever tried it to completely finish off ColourPop Super Shock Shadow, like hitting pan on Super Shocks, very easy. Finishing them off, a whole nother story. I have worked on multiple ColourPop Super Shocks for multiple years trying to finish them off, and have yet to be successful in completely finishing a ColourPop Super Shock. I'm currently trying for the second year to finish one of my ColourPop Super Shocks in the shade By the Pound, which was a Halo Top collaboration. I think I will finish that Super Shock this year, but it's taken me so long. So I don't think it's possible for me to finish this. I still want to try and get a ton of great use out of this. Maybe this is something I can carry over into 2024 and pan, you know, quickly in 2024. I don't know. Maybe I'll finish it this year. I just don't think so. That is one that I'm like, I really don't think so. Another product that is going to pose a lot of difficulty for me is the Uoma Beauty Contour Stick. I do have this in a project right now, and my goal is to finish it in that project. I think it's my deck of panning. There's still quite a bit of this. And then we have a contour product, which I already mentioned is just not my favorite. And then I have some other cream highlights that I am currently working on or trying to pan as well. So this one makes me quite nervous, but this is another one that it's like, if I could actually finish this product off, that would feel so, like I would feel so accomplished with myself. So if there's other ways that I can try and repurpose this product, I'm going to try and do that as well, just so I can finish this by the end of the year, but I have not made great progress on that yet. And then to wrap it up, I have 4 lip products. I want to smell this one from NARS. Like, is this even okay? This is NARS Santo Domingo. Yeah, this is a lip lacquer, and it is a little bit sticky. Not my favorite in terms of formula, just because it is a little bit stickier. It is a really beautiful mauve shade though, which isn't necessarily what I'm going for this spring summer, but I do feel like I can make this work for the spring and then pull it back out again in the fall time. I have barely reached for this. I've maybe reached for this one time, have not made great progress on that. My Becca Glow Gloss in the shade Malibu Soleil. I have taken the stopper out of this, and so this probably still has like a good 2 to 3 weeks worth of effort with this, but this will be an empty. I'm very confident in this. This is a beautiful formula, but again, a little bit stickier. Obviously, these aren't available anymore because Becca's no longer a brand, but I do still have 2 other Becca glow glosses in my collection. And this is something I worked on a lot last year, not necessarily in a project, but kind of unofficially trying to project pan this. And this, like, these are never ending lip glosses. And also, speaking of never ending lip gloss, the Dose of Colors lip gloss formula, I've panned one other Dose of Colors lip gloss formula in my life, and it took 4 freaking ever. So I am trying to finish off Dose of Colors Can You Not. This has gotten so much use in its lifetime. Like, I really should be able to finish this off. It's a really beautiful pale nude shade, which is like my go-to for the summer. I just need to remember to pull this out and reach for it and use it, which I have not done yet so far this year. Sorry, I just had a coughing attack. Jeez Louise, I like cannot get rid of this cough. Next up I have the Rare Beauty liquid, like the lip creme in the shade Fearless, just this little guy. I've worked on this in other projects, so I don't feel like I have a ton of this left, but I forgot that I included this in my 23 products, so this has gotten like no use, or maybe like 1 or 2 uses. Although I just reached for this formula in a different shade that I have in my collection and actually really enjoyed it. So because it's a mini, I feel like I should have better luck completing this. I am still hopeful and confident that I can have this as an empty, but liquid lipsticks are obviously harder to project pan for me, at least. So I still feel like I have a ways to go on that. And then the final product I completely forgot about, and in my head I'm like, why did I not include this in my Rolling Project 10 pan? And instead I have my Tom Ford little mini lipstick in my Rolling Project 10 pan. But this is a NARS lipstick in the shade To Lead, and I haven't reached for this at all this year. It's a really beautiful rosy pink, but just not the type of shade that I'm going for every day. In fact, this actually reminds me quite a bit of my Tom Ford lipstick, which I've been using my Tom Ford lipstick as a cream blush, and it's working really well for me. So perhaps when I finish that, I need to roll this in, but lipsticks take forever, even when it is a mini, and I barely reached for this. So I'm not super confident that this is gonna be an empty by the end of the year, but we'll see. And after that, that is my full update. So again, only 2 empties so far. Next update will be at the end of June. So I'm hopeful that my RMS Primer will be an empty. I also am hopeful, just because it'll be going on expiration, that my Kosas Foundation will be an empty. And aside from that, I don't know, maybe one of my lip products, hopefully my Becca Glow Gloss, will also be an empty. So at least hoping for 3 more empties minimum by next update. Hopefully I'll have a new pan in my Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector, as well as my Acuoin. Maybe if I repurpose the Pink Glow, I can have this as an empty, you know, hoping to have an expanded pan in my e.l.f. bronzer and my number 7. But a lot of these products are truly long haul products that I think I'll be working on until close to the end of next year. But that is my update on the 23 products I'm trying to pan in 2023. I would love to know, have you guys been successful in your panning journeys thus far this year? Let me know in the comments. Other than that, thank you so much for sticking around to watch today's video and for supporting my channel, as you guys always do. I love you guys so much, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye.